This video will show you how to use the new features out in version 1.5, released February 2017. You'll notice a change on the toolbar. We've added a case information button, a print button, a clear statistics button, and we've moved the exit button over here. We recommend that you use this exit button to avoid a Microsoft bug that we have no control over. If you do not use this exit button here, you'll be asked for a VBA password. You will have to click cancel, possibly up to 5 times, and then you may crash Excel. It's not a big issue. It's an inconvenience, but you can avoid that inconvenience by using this exit button instead of exiting through the Windows exit button or through the file menu. So this is the results here of a momentum analysis using Monte Carlo. We have all the inputted variables on the main page over here. We have our weights, angles, and speeds, and here are the results: the speed of vehicle 1, 2, delta V's, and PDOFs. Now, in order to use this case information button here to have the distributions printed out on your report, you will need one set of results to reside on the same sheet as your inputs. All right, so I put the speed for vehicle 1 over here on the same sheet as my inputs. I have separate sheets for vehicle 2 impact, delta V1, delta V2, PDOF1, and PDOF2. But I need at least one set of results to be on the same page as the inputs. So the first feature I'll show you is the case information. And I can enter a case number, which is optional. You do not have to do this. A case name. And a page description, a report description. So we're going to print out right now what's on this page. When we hit this print button, you're going to print what's on the current page. So what's on the current page here is the vehicle 1 impact speed. I have the option of including the date in the footer, and I can include page numbers. Those are all optional. All of this is optional. If I hit the clear button, that will clear the information in here. I'm going to click OK. Before I click OK, I'll mention that the case number and case name are going to be common for every report. In other words, vehicle 2 impact, delta V1, delta V2, PDOF1, PDOF2 will have the same case number and the same case name. However, each sheet will have its own description, and I'll show that to you next. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go and activate the vehicle 2 impact, and I'm going to click on case information, and you'll see that the case number and case name are already in there. However, the description is not, because we need to put a new description in, because this is the vehicle 2 impact speed. I'll click OK. Now notice if I go back to the main page and I click on case information, I have the same case number and case name, and the description changes back to vehicle 1 impact speed. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and I'll just mention that delta V1, delta V2, PDOF1, and PDOF2 will all have their own separate descriptions, but the same case number and case description. So here's delta V1. I'm not going to do delta V2 and PDOF1 and PDOF2 to save some time. So let's go back to the main page. And what I'm going to do here is now click on print. And the familiar Excel print dialog box will come up. I can change my printer. I can tell how many copies that I want. And I'm going to click OK. And my report prints. This is what the report looks like. We have the case name up top, the description, and your case number. In the footer, we have the date, if you selected it, the program's name, and the page number if you selected it. On the second page, we have our inputs. So for example, for the weight of vehicle 1, I used a uniform distribution, and here are my lower and upper limits. And for the departure angle for vehicle 1, I used a normal distribution, a mean of 50, standard deviation of 3, and my lower limit was a sigma as opposed to absolute, and the upper limit was also a sigma, and you have your calculated limits due to the sigma limit here. And that's it for your report. And just remember that those inputs will only print on this first page here, where we have the results. The results here are with your inputs. So it's only going to print once. You only need it once. You don't want to repeat the same information on the other pages. So that's it for printing.